Hey, what's up? What's going on? It's your girl, Mary Jane. Please like, comment, subscribe to my YouTube channel. It'd be greatly appreciated from the bottom of my heart, my peeps, my peoples. So let's get into it. Let's talk about Marriage Boot Camp Reality TV Stars, Season 9, Episode 3, Great Balls of Blame. So, yes, that's all they do is blame each other. That's what it's all about. Let's blame one another. So we start off with Julia and JJ. They upset. They mad at each other. Well, basically, JJ's trying to do the blame thing. He's trying to feel sad, depressed, like he's just ultimately hurt, like he's some altar boy or something like that. And then you have Julia that she's just so distraught. She's just so hurt because basically she read the letter and he just dogged her out in a letter about her looks, her makeup, her hair. He said her hair looked greasy. He said she wear too much mascara, too much eyeshadow, almost insinuating she looks like a clown. She get dressed in the dark. I'm like, damn, JJ, you couldn't tell her she didn't look good. You couldn't tell there was something wrong with the way that she was looking. Like, you had to write it down in the last episode and a letter and let the whole world know how you really feel. Tell me how you really feel. And she feels like, damn, yo, I don't even know how to feel about myself anymore because I don't even think you like me. I don't even think you love me. I don't even think you want to be with me. And she possibly could be right because he's torn between loving himself, being happy with himself, chilling with his boys, and trying to, have a relationship with his ex-wife and his kids or whatever. So JJ kind of really don't know what he's doing in life. He really don't know what he wants. And he does have a one-on-one with the doctors and they talk, and basically he doesn't know where he's going or where he's coming from, and he's kind of lost. So JJ, did your parents raise you to be lost? Did your parents raise you to be horrible and be mean to the girl you're supposed to love? And also his ex-wife. So basically when JJ's not happy, he goes out and he finds somebody that can make him happy with the quickness. He doesn't miss a beat because he has that innocent altar boy look where women would think he's a wonderful, sweet, kind guy, but yet he's a really vicious guy with his words. And then he'll play innocent like he didn't do anything wrong. So whoa. So then we move on to Javi and Kayla. They're already arguing. They're arguing early in the morning. Like, who gets into relationships where you wake up in the morning, you're arguing, before you go to bed, you're arguing. You're all, like, how are these kids getting along? Like, what's going on at home with the kids? These guys are always fighting and constantly at each other. But I assume that you guys don't live together now because Kayla is keep telling us and letting the world know she's filing for divorce. Okay, file for divorce. Do your thing, girlfriend. But you're really ultimately going not to be happy once you do file for divorce, because you might find a man that might worship you as much as Javi, but I don't know if you will, because your attitude and the way that you come off on the show, and anybody can just look at the videos and shows that you be on and just know how to treat you basically. So anyways, they're arguing. He keeps going in on his cheating stuff. Like, if you don't forgive her for the cheating stuff, then why you want to be with her? First work on, forgiving her for cheating or whatever, even though she keeps saying that she didn't cheat because she filed for divorce or separation, whatever. Kayla, you cheated on that man. And so then she tries to throw up that he cheated on her, and he was like, oh, you're trying to start an argument or whatever. So I guess we're gonna find out if Javi did cheat on Kayla or whatever. But in my opinion, even though Kayla is a mean mother sucker, she's a mean woman. She's mean. She remind me of Miss Piggy. You know how Miss Piggy is mean and shit like that to Kermit the Frog and shit? She reminds me of that. But even though that she's mean and all that other stuff, and Javi's like Kermit the Frog, he takes all the abuse. But they're probably gonna get a divorce or whatever. But if they really had the right counseling, the right help, and the right support, I really think that they could actually work it out, because they really do have love for each other, but they're young and immature, and they probably didn't have the best role models growing up to show them how a man supposed to treat a woman, how a woman's supposed to treat a man, and how a man's supposed to be a father, and how a woman's supposed to be a mother. So they might not have them type of role models, and so they're probably basing their relationship on everything that they seen growing up, TV shows and things like that. Because basically Kayla is about TV. Her kids are about TV too as well. So hopefully, after the show, they really ultimately do get some help so they can have the support to support each other, because they possibly can work. And then we get to the breakfast table. We got Peter. We got Megan. and DeAndre's there too as well. And Megan is telling Peter, hey, listen, you got your cake and eat it too. How can you do that? How can you have two women? How can you be like that? How can you have two women and have 10 kids and be cheating and thinking that it's okay, Peter? Why you do that? And so, Peter was like, yo, listen, it ain't all my fault, because she knew from Jump Street. She knew that I already had another woman. She knew when we got married. She knew she knew I went back home to Tara. So yo, how you get married and you go back home to your girlfriend? Come on, don't you supposed to have a honeymoon? Don't you supposed to at least your honeymoon 2 or 3 days, like where you stay in a hotel, you stay somewhere, stay in a house together, locked up? But I guess it's a whole different type of wedding to Peter and Amina. But Peter does have age on Amina, and he's more. He grew up in a city, and he knows, he got knowledge, street knowledge, wisdom, and stuff like that. And Amina is like a young girl lost, come to America, and she latched on to Peter. And Peter was basically at one point in time, he had a really decent hip-hop career and music, and he knows a lot of people. He has a lot of relationships with people. He's been on reality TV shows before Love and Hip Hop. He was on the show Gunners, with Nick Cannon or whatever. And plus, he probably played in a lot of music clubs and on a music scene. And probably that's how he met Amina. And so Peter can come off as a charming, wonderful guy until you have a baby by him, or till you marry him or get into a relationship with him. Because he said he's never been faithful. But he's basically saying Amina needs to own up to some of the blame, because she knew I was going home with Tyra. She knew about Tyra. She knew, even though I did tell her I wasn't with her, but I kept going home with Tyra every night. And so, last episode, Peter was saying that Amina was, naive. And this what brings the point up, that Amina is very naive. But, by about time that she wakes up and stop being naive, even though she did leave and move to California to get away from Peter, but she's still here with Peter on this show. And then we also learned, Judge told her, she called her, she said only reason why Peter's probably here is because Susie's really tired, but don't want him no more. So that's why he probably flew to Los Angeles or LA, and trying to work it out with Amina. And plus they getting a paycheck from this too as well. And so that's probably why the first night he didn't sleep in a bed with Amina, but now last night he slept in a bed with her. In this episode he slept in a bed with her. He even tried to cover the cameras so Tyra wouldn't see him, so he can lie to Tyra and tell Tyra that he didn't sleep with her. But basically both of them are getting played. Both of them are allowing this behavior to happen. So what's the problem? They've been allowing this to go on for years now. And Amina is not the only girl that Peter cheated on Tyra with. He said he's never been faithful before. It's just that he married Amina, and that's even a tough blow, you know what I mean? And it's just like they both allow it. Like he stays with Amina one week, he stays with Tyra the next week, you know what I mean? So it's like they both allow the situation to happen. So why would he change? Why would he do something different if they're allowing him to do this to them? And they basically both know about each other. They basically both know that they both got kids by him, and he's basically going back and forth with both of them. So why would he change? Why would he do anything different? Only way that he'll change is do something different if one of them or both of them actually force him to change and force him to do something different, or if Peter actually want to grow up and be mature and say, hey, listen, I just want to be with one woman, but we know that's not going to happen. So it is what it is with that situation. And Meg is in everybody's business. So as what's her name, Asifa. Asifa is in everybody's business as well. She needs to worry about why Bobby keep running from her. And, Meg needs to worry about her attitude, because her popping off at the mouth all the time is not a good look. And, she actually do have a good boyfriend, DeAndre. He seems like he's a good man. He's a good boyfriend, and he wants to be there with her, and he likes her, and he's accepting her faults in the way that she treats him. If she can talk to him better and treat him a lot better and not try to force her opinion on what she thinks that he should be on him, they can actually really have a prosper relationship, and he might ultimately want to get into a professional career where he makes hundreds and thousands of dollars. He doesn't need her push. He just needs her support and her love, because that's the way he feels about her, because he's supporting her reality career, because he's actually here on the show with her. And on top of that, he is getting paid. So right now he's on the same level as her, because they're both getting reality checks money. You know what I'm saying? So anyways, So, the doctors, they call these mother suckers to the backyard or whatever to do this exercise called, the blame game or whatever. They got to pick these balls with all these different, labels like, and the balls weigh like 15 pounds. You got quality money. These balls are labeled quality, money, and security, selfishness, infidelity, kids, trust, respect, all the same stuff that they always do, but they change it around, put balls. And so and Peter was like, immediately when he saw the the balls and their labels, he was like, yo, I'm gonna pull out my doctor note. I'm gonna do something because each and every one of these balls belongs to me. And so Peter was like, oh my God, they all belong to me. Then so the first couple up is Asifa and Bobby or whatever. And basically Asifa, she picks communication skills because they have a very hard time communicating, because Asifa has a hard time communicating with Bobby because she automatically feels that he doesn't want to talk about it, and he doesn't, but it's the way that she communicates and the way that she hovers over past things and keeps bringing up the past where she haven't let it go, and she has a lot of hurt that she has to deal with from having her abortion, from having the divorce, and then also going back with him and putting up with all the things that she felt like is wrong and he hasn't changed. That's the same thing Judge Tola told her, that you have to find a better way to talk, a better way to communicate, to talk to somebody. And, like, find a new way. If the old way ain't working, find a new way. It's like these motherfuckers stay with the old ways. And so anyways, she picks communication. Bobby picks insecurity, basically. And, he did that she's insecure because she's always chasing after him. She won't let him go. She's always thinking he's cheating. She's going through his phones and things like that. So it's not a good look. It's not a good situation. And at the table, I think it was Megan and Kayla and DeAndre and Peter. When I was talking earlier, I put the wrong person into that situation. So anyways, and they basically throw the balls back and forth or whatever. And she was like, oh, you get numbers at the gym and you put them on the guys' names and things like that. You don't communicate with me. You try to hide. And he was like, I'm a private person. So it seems like Bobby, like I was saying before in my last video, it seems like Bobby will be okay if he didn't see Asifa no more. It's just like he's always running from her. Like, sometimes people love when someone chase after them. They always want, and they always begging for them, and they put them on a pedestal, and they want to show them so much love and so much support. And if that person don't feel that amount of affection towards them, they feel like they can treat them anyway. And it seems like that's what Bobby is doing to Asifa. He knows that she's always going to be there. And I don't know if he would miss a beat if she left. But I know for a fact if he left her, Asifa would be distraught, because she done waste all her time on him. And like I was saying before, it seems like, Bobby could be punishing her, and he's going to find him a younger woman that he's going to have kids with and get married and throw Asifa to the side, in my opinion. And so far, I think I'm going to stick with that opinion, because he's getting numbers, he's dating girls at the gym, and all this other stuff. And he's changing the ladies' names to men name in the phone. So it's like he's out there looking, he's out there hunting. And he might just ultimately let her go. She's a beautiful woman, and I like her, like how she does end up for herself, but she goes overboard with it sometimes, and she has to learn how to be a little bit more loving when she's communicating, and that's what Judge Tola told her as well. And so then we move on to we move on to JJ. He gotta be different. He gotta step out the circle and write with a pen on a ball his own thing towards Julia. And basically what he wrote on the ball, on the medicine ball, was that perfection. Basically he's saying Julia is a perfectionist and all this other stuff, basically trying to throw the blame on her about her looks and her insecurities and her having greasy hair. I don't know how she don't have greasy hair in this episode, or the last one, and her makeup, making her feeling like she's trying to be a perfectionist so much that she's actually ruined their relationship, because basically he doesn't want to take blame for him actually being a perfectionist, because how did he discredit her looks and everything and be so superficial about things that really doesn't mean anything. He could say, hey, just wash your hair, it's too greasy. Put less makeup on. You're too beautiful for all that makeup. I want to see your natural beauty. He could say that to her, but no, he's trying to throw the blame. And so then the Dr. V, Dr. V's back to being her old self, talking junk. She was like, if I was you, Julia, I would get a pen and write down a ball of bullshit. basically calling him out because he's trying not to take the blame. He's trying to throw the blame at her because once again he's trying to be the altar boy and the innocent kid. And and then Julia, she picks up the ball, trust. Like, she doesn't know if she can trust him because she didn't even know, like, he's basically writing that he's unattractive to her in so many different ways and saying that when she gets older, she's going to have overweight issues or whatever because she's struggling so hard to stay thin now. Like, whoa. It's like he don't got no love for her at all. So anyways, JJ is just like, whoa. And so basically all these couples, they get balls. And then Kayla and Javi, they go up, and Kayla picks up insecurity. Basically, she's calling Javi insecure, but she makes him insecure by cheating on him, kissing her lesbian friends or whatever. She doesn't know if she's bisexual. She just thinks she's trisexual. She doesn't want to label. She likes whatever she wants to like at the day and at the time or at the night. And so, and Javi picks up money, I believe. I think he picks up money or whatever. And he goes, yeah, it's always about money. Or she picks up money. One of them pick up money or whatever. And basically they talk about, like, how Kayla says, you're always talking about money. You're always talking about, you're going to ask me for child support. You're going to try to get child support from me and all this other stuff. And you talk about the house and how you're going to take this and how you're going to take that. Money is the biggest issue between them two. And so basically, they take the balls or whatever. And, I guess they want to go to court, but Judge told them that it's not a good idea. And Kayla, at least Kayla knows that, having a judge rule over their divorce case and their child support and custody is the wrong thing. We're putting it in a judge's hand. And that's what Judge Tola tells them at the end, because at the end of the episode, you have the evaluation and the punishment episode. So, at least I see Kayla, she's kind of smart, but she just don't know how to be a wife. That's it. She needs help with being a wife. She needs help with, because I don't think she had the greatest role models. And I never watched Teen Mom, so I don't know. And then we get to, I think I covered everybody. And then we get Megan. So after that, we get DeAndre, and he picks up the ball, respects. DeAndre picks up the medicine ball, respect. And basically he just tells Megan, hey, listen, I'm living my life for me. I'm not living my life for you. Live your life and I'll live my life. Basically, he's standing up for himself. And everybody's like, whoa, it's about time. Living life, he goes, I'm living my life and not your life, basically. Because Megan is always on him like a school teacher, like she's his principal, like she's his mother. And he doesn't need that. He just needs love and support. And I guarantee you, if he gets that, he won't be a weight trainer anymore. He'll probably go into a different career, because then he wants to have the best life for his wife and provide for her if he marries Megan. But right now he can't make them type of choices because you have someone being negative towards you all the time, and that's not cool. And so then Megan was like, wow, I can't believe he came at me like that. Oh goodness. So that was like the highlight. Whatever ball Megan picked up, I think she picked up money or whatever, because money was one of the things that she complained about, because he doesn't make enough money. He's satisfied with $10 an hour and all this other stuff. And so then you got Amina. She runs and she picks up the ball. Fidelity. And basically she's trying to blame Peter. And then Peter, he does a JJ move. JJ and Peter got a lot in common. So Peter picks up a ball and he writes what he wants to write on it. He writes my ex. Basically, you already knew about my ex. You knew what was going on between us and all this other stuff. You need to take some fault for it. Then the doctors got upset, was like, you know what, Peter, all these balls need to go inside your circle because you got 5 daughters. Would you want your daughters to bring home a man like you? And he was like, hell no, I will flip the script. And so then Julia and JJ basically gets one-on-one, and JJ basically just tell Dr. Ish that he doesn't know where he's going, where he's coming from. He doesn't know if he's in the right place in life, and he's just basically doing that sob story. He doesn't even know if he really wants to be with, Julia, and basically he's acting like the same way he was with his ex-wife, bringing pain and hurting people that he loved because he's not happy, and I believe he's insecure with himself, and he just wants to live his own life. That's it. And then Julia, she's just so distraught, and she doesn't know if she can trust him anymore. She doesn't even, she's feeling so insecure. She's just feeling like she doesn't even know JJ, and JJ feels like he's not happy. and he's lost. JJ feels like he lost in himself or whatever. And so Oxifa asked the couples for advice. I don't know why Oxifa asked the couples for advice at the table about, Bobby getting numbers at the gym and changing the names up and all this other stuff. And then also throwing Bobby on the table saying that he slept with one of the girls at the gym that was an escort. And Peter and Mina get into their confessionals, and they was just like, yo, I don't know I'm tired of hearing about them. Peter's even tired of Oxifa and her complaining. He was just like, basically, won't they just change a different gym? And Amina was like, then there'll still be more ladies or whatever. And so they're going back and forth. And so, and then, Bobby was like, well, you dated somebody in the gym after we broke up. So, like, yo, they be throwing daggers at each other, trying to hurt each other. And it is what it is. I can't believe, Asifa actually dated somebody else. I wonder if she went all the way, if it was just like a date. So then Bobby comes back, and Bobby was like, you know what? Because Asifa's like, he doesn't want to listen to me. He can't hear me. I just want somebody to listen to me, hear me. And so then Bobby was like, everybody hears you. Everybody knows what you're just saying. You've been saying the same goddamn thing for 7 years now. Like, we're tired of it. I'm tired of it. The same thing. And she was like, oh, I knew you was gonna run away. And so, like, he runs away, whatever, comes back. Basically, they keep throwing the blame game back and forth at each other. Then they go on to another exercise. And it's it's still part of the blame game. For basically, it's called exercise ball and chain. Basically, they got to chain all these balls to each other evenly and then walk up a hill to the finish line. And basically, trying to get them to understand that one person can't carry the blame by itself. Is too hard, but if both of you share the blame together, it'll be much easier. And then if you don't throw any blame at all, it'll just be easier to get through your relationship, because throwing a blame game wears on you mentally, physically, and emotionally. Basically, Peter and Amina finally accepts that she deserves some of the blame, as well as her relationship with Peter. And then JJ and Kayla, JJ and Julia, they work together as well. Javi and Kaylin, they work together, whatever. Then Asifa and, Bobby are having a hard time because Bobby had an operation on his back. He's not well. He's not good. And basically, Asifa's carrying all the weight, and Asifa says, this is how our relationship is. I carry all the weight. Yeah, because one person can't be the one that's totally in love and carrying everything, because sooner or later, that person that you doing that for is either going to leave you holding the bag. And that's what basically Bobby was doing, leaving her to hold all the baggage and all the blame. And she was like, this is what I do. I try, put my all into this relationship. Well, Bobby has to do some too. You keep doing it all. That means there's nothing for him to do but to walk away from you when you complain, because you choose to carry it all. You choose to put all of yourself in this relationship and not hold him accountable for the things he does. And basically, when you try to hold Bobby accountable, the first thing he does is run. So, and then Peter, then Javi, so sweet, he asked Peter if he needed any help, and Peter was like, nah, I can't, that's cheating. And so Peter was like, I wish I didn't get all these balls. And so they all basically make it to the end, and Megan was trying to get at, DeAndre, trying to yell at him, and he put her in her place immediately. And if she was quiet, he was like, yo, I don't want to hear it, like, don't even go there. And so then now we get to the evaluation round, and basically Judge Tola tells them all about their self. Basically, tells Kayla and Javi, like, you don't want to judge to rule custody over your kids. You don't want to judge to divide what you have. You want to actually make your choices, because we don't know you. You're just on the dock, and we only spend 5 minutes with you. We don't love your kids like you do. So be mindful before you want a divorce and all this other stuff. Figure things out, which Kayla has always said or whatever. So we'll see what happens. And then basically Judge Tola calls out JJ, saying he does nothing but spew nonsense all over the place, and he can't keep his story straight at all. And then tells Julia, stop, you need to find someone to love. Whoever you want to lock down and love, make sure it's the right person. Make sure that person loves you back, and you know who that person is. And she gets to Bobby and Asifa, basically telling Asifa that you need to work on your communication, communicate better, and everything like that. And also talks about control of the relationship, Bobby with his control issues and things like that. And or it was either Asifa with her control issues or whatever. But basically, Asifa was just saying that if JJ put as much effort as he does in his professional life, their relationship would bloom to a wonderful place. He doesn't need to, because you put all the effort in, Asifa. And basically, Judge Tola was telling her to communicate in a better way to deal with the situation in the relationship and the control issues. So, and learn how to talk better, learn how to communicate better. And then Megan and DeAndre, basically it was giving DeAndre props because he actually stood up for himself, and actually it's up to him to make the choices that he want in life, and let him make the choices. Just because you might not be happy with somebody making $10 an hour doesn't mean he's not happy, and he can possibly change and make what he wants to make in his life. And basically she told Amina, if you was my daughter, you be still trying to get my foot out of your butt, because why would you choose a man like Peter that already had 10 kids or 9 kids or 11 kids, and then marry this guy knowing that he's connected to this woman, and continue to be in that relationship with him. And basically she tells Peter that, I don't know what you got going on, but it ain't right. That, Peter, you just playing these games back and forth. So basically Judge Tola doesn't punish anybody at all, and basically Amina needs to share some of the blame, and Julia and Julia's basically just scared with JJ, because she feels like she lost him, and JJ feel lost as well. And Peter calls up Tyra, tell Tyra she looks sexy, tell Tyra that he still loves Tyra, texting Tyra, then go upstairs and have sex with Amina. Craziness. Anyways, peace. I'm out. Much love. Please like, comment, subscribe to my YouTube channel. It would be greatly appreciated. These couples need some help.